significant part of the initiatives that we take.
And let me come back to you. I'm going to go to Dr. Jamil. Jamil Sahab, overall, in terms of the diplomacy that Munir Sahab is talking about in recent years, of course, as far as the UNGA is concerned, then the visit of Antonio Guterres, and further to that, the Prime Minister's address after the floods have happened, to keep it on the agenda is something that we've tried as far as the government is concerned. There has been a concentrated effort across the board to do that as far as what we call climate diplomacy is concerned. But again, when we talk about the clout of nations who are the largest emitters of carbon emissions overall, this is going to be an effort against that primarily. And when nearly 200 countries unite in a conference like this to talk about reparation, certainly it's a step forward. But again, the realities of the diplomatic realities at this time can't be ignored also. That's a factor. In your experience, I'm sure that you would agree.
Well, diplomacy is the name of consistency and continuity. Now, as I mentioned about the international law, which is the agreement, Paris agreement, the best thing is that the United States, which was reluctant in implementing the ingredients and the clauses of the Paris Accord, now they are on the table. And once they are on the table, the European Union, which is again the second biggest carbon emission region. So I think it's the kind of legwork that Pakistan had done for such advocacy and for such climate diplomacy. I think it's quite well recognized. And if I may quote the Secretary General statements from the benchmark, once he came to Pakistan and he said, humanity declared war on nature, and now nature is striking back, but it is blind, not striking back, who have contributed more to the war on nature than striking back to the wrong target. Now, these are the sentences, these are the things which we are trying to, which Pakistan in its climate diplomacy is trying to capitalize on, and we should continue capitalizing it.
In that sense, I want to talk about the efforts of the global north, that we have tried to make, the fact that, we've tried to resonate with them. And unfortunately, like you are saying, of course, the US may be on board, but overall there has been a lack of response, and one can't ignore that.
That's right, there has been a lack of response, and that's why the less developed countries who have no fault of theirs in terms of carbon emission, and they are being impacted and affected because of the faults and because of the deeds of these countries who are the biggest culprit in terms of carbon emission. Now, so what is the course available? What is the recourse available to the country like ours? Now, the recourse available is to do a full climate diplomacy, which is being done in Sharm el-Sheikh by Prime Minister and his team. Now, as I said, that the legwork done this time was really quite reasonable and quite admirable legwork done, and that advocacy, that the climate justice, that's what the slogan is. And climate justice, which not only us we are saying, it's the United Nations Secretary General who has been saying. United Nations Secretary General who is there, and Prime Minister is going to participate in that round table, where it's the early warning round table discussion with the Secretary General of the United Nations. Now, Pakistan has to do the advocacy, and I'm sure they are going to do it this time also. The Sustainable Development Goal, and one of the goals of the Sustainable Development is the environment and climate change. Pakistan is doing very well in that. By 2030, we should be able to achieve our targets and goals, and I am keeping a track on it. In fact, our other entities, government as well as the private entities, are collaborating in terms of sustainable development goal.